Welcome to Small Business Hacks. As an entrepreneur in the hospitality and tourism sector, last year was, well, not good. In the beginning, I was expecting a crisis that would bankrupt every second hotel in the city. The summer came, and together with it, a positive surprise. In entire Europe and North America, the lockdown restrictions eased, and it was not as bad as expected. We still lost money, that is true, but we survived. We even turned slightly optimistic about what lies ahead. But October arrived, together with a second wave of the COVID-19 pandemic. Together with governments closing sectors, decreeing curfews, and restricting business. To put it into perspective, this was like a patient that was hospitalized after being hit by a car suddenly realized that his hospital room is on fire. It still hurt from the catastrophic 2020, now we must run for survival, again. I will not advocate only for my industry, tourism. So here I compiled the 5 sectors where business may be slaughtered in 2021. My purpose here is only one: to alert anyone that works in any of those areas that things may continue ugly, so keep your alternatives. But I will also give you a message of hope. Time to start the list. First, hotels and touristic accommodations. Winter for hotels is harsh, for a couple of reasons. The first is that it's a low season, unless you are in a winter sport paradise or alike. The second is that expense increase, especially in locations with harsher climates and shorter days. The percentage that utilities like heating and electricity represent from total expenditure nearly doubles. In other words, for hotels, winter means less money coming in and more money leaking out. In 2020, with the lockdown restrictions decreasing both touristic and business demand, the summer already had despairing numbers. According to STR, the average hotel occupation in Europe was 38.9% in September, when normally it's near 70%. The average price per room dropped 27.2%, and the revenue per room plunged, grew some 64.8%. The winter of 2020 came, and another nasty surprise: successive cold waves and higher heating bills. Hotels that survive are either the ones with easy access to inexpensive supplementary capital or with comfortable financial reserves. Independent hotels are the most affected, since chains have easier and cheaper credit. It is no surprise that independent businesses became easy prey to the multinational hotel conglomerates. Second, bars and restaurants. One may think that the possibility to work with the delivery system is enough to save the restaurants from their demise. Nothing further from the truth, and it's for 2 reasons. The first is that many restaurants make their profit on drinks, and drinks are rarely ordered via the delivery system. So food delivery consists of items with lower margins. Besides that, food delivery apps like Uber Eats or Volt charge high commissions from restaurants, ranging from 15 to 30%, which might correspond to half of the restaurant margin. And then, at last, during an economical crisis, eating out or ordering prepared food from a restaurant is one of the first items cut from most family budgets, just like holidays. For all those reasons together, restaurants are facing a crisis similar to the hotel industry, caused by fewer customers, increasing expenditures, and margins eroded by lower prices. Concerts and MICE, meetings, conferences, etc. While restaurants and hotels at least had a glance of hope during the few months without restrictions, the concerts and events sector never had a relief. The restrictions over events were always in place. While the event sector may look small at first sight, the subsectors that depend on it make its numbers respectable. From DJs to catering, from security to photographers, it's an industry that employs more than 500,000 people in the UK only. Of all the sectors mentioned in this article, the concerts and events may be the last to go back to normal. In virtually all reopening plans, they are in the last stages. The realization of sponsored lives in streaming websites like YouTube is an alternative source for famous artists, but the rest of the sector is choking. 4. Gyms and wellness sector. One of the first industries to be closed, and also one of the last to be reopened. Countries like Italy, Spain, Canada, and Poland closed their gyms for the second time in October, facing protests from personal trainers and instructors. Stakeholders from this sector argue that lacking of physical activity contributes negatively to human immunity. Personal trainers are among the most affected, since their income dropped to zero. By the way, please allow me a small digression. If you're enjoying this video, please give us a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button for our next videos, and activate the notifications. Back to our subject. 5. Airlines. Probably the most obvious presence in this list, due to the high media coverage they get. Counterintuitively, however, airlines are not among the most affected. To understand why, is enough to see how frequently governments bail out or nationalize near bankrupt carriers. Yes, some of the minor players like Flybe were among the first to go belly up. But traditional names like Alitalia, Lufthansa or American Airways are still around independently of their billionaire losses. Additionally, they were the first to downsize their operations and mass release employees, so if you are still working for an airline, most likely the worst already passed. Unless it's a small cash-strapped company, governments bail airlines because they need them to distribute the vaccines. Lack of connectivity is dangerous for any country, so airlines do not have a tunnel as dark as the other sectors in this list. Still, be cautious and have a plan B in the case your name is in the next downsizing. But how can you prepare a plan B? The logic behind having an alternative route during a crisis is well justified by the concept of anti-fragility from Nassim Taleb. Imagine a barbell. On one side, you have one of your income streams, and on the other, your alternative income sources. When you depend on a single stream, you are out of equilibrium. A troubled time or a crisis, and you fall. Develop a plan B if the worst happens at work, and tomorrow you find yourself without a stable income, you can rely on it. Together with my business, I'm also a writer, and working on developing some additional skills now that tourism is slowed down. Together with your profession, what more can you be? Develop your anti-fragility. Thanks for watching.